I'm trying this for the very first time, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm giving it a shot. Um, I think I left off with the year of 2022. Before I get too far gone with that, I want to bring you up to now, and then I'll go back. Um, if I recall right, I kind of had to figure out what was going to be happening. So I didn't make any noise until probably November. But there were certain things that had happened during the year that I couldn't figure out. I couldn't figure out what was going on. It's like all of a sudden she really um, wanted to distance herself from me. And I had no idea of what was going on. Um, and you've seen me do like these I make these comments, or I'll have like a poem or prose, or I'm making some kind of statement that's like a jab at my daughter and her wife. The reason for that is several things. One, my daughter back in October of last year it sent me a couple of text messages that were really not very nice. Um, I remember, like, I just did a jab not too long ago about Mr. Fitness. Well, what had happened was someone had sent me a clip of her doing an interview with this person. And I recognized him. I was like, wait a minute, that's Dwayne. Dwayne is someone she once dated. And it didn't go right because of her demands. She wanted Dwayne to spend money on her, and I think he has a child, and so he's a dad, and he was interested in being a dad. She wanted him to spend money on her. She was like, I don't need to be dating people who have children because that means their money's going to be divided between me and the child. And that's not what I'm looking for. Also, he wanted to purchase a house. This would be the second guy. One was the fiance who wanted to purchase a house. And now Dwayne was looking at purchasing a house. So he wasn't doing a lot of spending. And then she called him cheap because he wasn't doing a lot of spending. So I said, well, I think that's kind of admirable that he's cutting back on his spending so that he can purchase a home. She didn't see it that way. And she also felt, that he was cheap and so forth and so on. Which leads me to another time that I definitely helped her out when she got her first condo. I coughed up money for that too. And that was about 2005 or something like that. So I helped her out there, and I've helped her out, quite a bit. So, but she was telling people that she was raised by by her stepmother. So I wasn't feeling too warm and fuzzy about the stepmother thing, and it was just like, why would you even get on there and tell people anything that you knew might spark something? I think she was thinking a little bit above herself and felt that she was now invincible, and she could hide behind the people that she had on Facebook, and I didn't know anything about any of this. So this was all kind of new stuff for me. So she had said a couple of things that she claimed that she didn't. She didn't want to be bothered with me, but she claimed that she was trying to make peace with me, and that never was the case. She never tried to make peace with me on any level. She wrote me a series of text messages that I'm going to share with you. Well, number one, she'd done something that was really bad, and she didn't even bother to apologize. Um, she claimed that she wasn't bothering me, and that she was trying to make peace with me, which that was a lie. And she said that I was acting out. And I thought, I'm like, acting out? Like I'm some little kid that you're acting out and you need to go sit in a corner somewhere. That kind of attitude. Um, she kept talking about she wanted to have peace and all this stuff, but then she kept doing things that counteracted the peace. So I didn't really understand where she was coming from. So one of her followers had on his site a picture of me, and he still has it up. So she wasn't trying to make any peace about it because he's one of her moderators. So she wanted the picture to stay up because she could have told him to take it down, but she didn't. Um, he had up there calling me the world's worst mom. Now, her power of influence could have made him remove it, but instead, she had him write low life statements on my post, along with a few other people. I think it wound up being like four of them all together. They kept, putting things on my post. And all of these people acted out of naivety because they were attempting to protect her, a person that obviously they come to admire. They didn't have a problem bashing me at all. After all, Tanasa and Carmen went out of their way to make sure that Evelyn Georgia, that's her name, Evelyn Georgia, and this is a woman that I've known. I guess I've known Evelyn for about, I'm going to say 38 years. Never had a problem, never said anything bad about the woman. She has a classic Italian beauty, and she has beautiful hair. If anything, she can say I said that about her, but I never said anything out of the way about her at all. Matter of fact, when she became a grandmother, Iris was quite pissed. She was saying all these things about her, and I didn't quite understand that. Um, why was she making all these comments about her now wanting to be involved in her grandchild's life? She was just all over the place. So I thought it was kind of interesting that here we have Evelyn on camera. Well, you can't see her, but you can hear her talking about me, and she's telling Iris, "Stay out of it, Iris," and just goes on this thing. So I didn't understand that. And she was talking about stuff that she'd heard from Iris. Her ignorance is to the true facts of what I said to Iris. And I said what I said to Iris after I saw her dancing and carrying on like a fool. She can do it. I wasn't saying that she couldn't do it because I wrote her a text message explaining that my grandparents went through a great deal to see us, the McInneses, advance in life. And we are a proud people and who've got great accomplishments. I've got one of my cousins, he runs a nonprofit where he helps people. It's a service nonprofit. He's so up there that he goes to DC for meetings, and he's been running this nonprofit, I think now for about 15 to 20 years. One of my cousins. So her acting like a buffoon carrying my father's last name. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. You can't be doing this. If you want to do that, go back to being a wiener, because that's really your name anyway. You're not going to be parading around like an ass with my family name attached to you. No. You want to do it? I have no problem with you do it. Just do it under your name. Don't be trying to identify yourself with us acting a fool. So that's what it is on that. So if she wants to do it under Iris Weiner. I have no problems with it at all. But you're not really a McGinnis anyway. So there's no reason for you to even use the name. So I feel Iris didn't tell Evelyn the whole truth, but she proved that she had no integrity either, because she's all driven by living vicariously through someone else. So she sold herself cheap for a high grade Happy Meal. And I'm not even sure if the restaurant was high end, because I don't know any high end restaurant where you have to sit there in your coat. My daughter knows better than that. In the video I saw, she was sitting there, her and Carmen sitting there like they're sitting outside somewhere. So it wasn't high end, people. Because a high end restaurant, when you walk in, the maitre d' is taking your jacket. And they don't have a cold room. So it wasn't even high end. So she sold herself for a high grade Happy Meal. So she could have declined, but instead, she allowed herself to be caught up in living vicariously through others. Tanesa has none too little respect for yes people. So, Evelyn, you played yourself. And then she had the nerve to say, we're friends on Facebook and she's going to come after me. Why should I waste my energy when you were in the public with your comments? It's only fair that I do the same. So you want to call me out and think I'm going to chase you on Facebook? So what am I supposed to be doing? Sending you a text message or something? Forget about it. You out there publicly on social media bashing me, then I can come back on the same platform and bash you too. You had no business getting caught up in it. So, I had asked my daughter for a simple letter of recognition from her for over the years that I looked out for her, bent over backwards. Matter of fact, when she was in the Air Force, I even called the base commander on her behalf because she didn't want to, now all of a sudden, she didn't want to get out. So I even talked to the base commander on her behalf. When she was in nursing school, she was going to some, one of them schools you turn on a commercial and they got a nursing school and all this kind of stuff. She went to one of those. It later closed, but they put her out, and I was talking to them, and it was like I'm always putting out these fires, and look, just give me a letter of recognition. She was giving other people stuff, and this person stuff. I'm like, well, I did the most for you out of everybody. Just give me a letter of recognition. That's all. So she said I tried to blackmail a letter out of her. No remorse. She said, like I was paying us. She was talking about I was looming something over her head. I'm like, what? She had the nerve to say that she was trying to help me get my house renovated. And then I didn't appreciate it. So then she says, "Oh, well, I'm sorry." Like with an attitude. I'm like, that's not where you would give gratitude to somebody. So I'm like, really? And then she went on, she sent me this in a text message. She says, "It's always something with you, steady keeping things going. You don't want peace. You like stirring the pot. You want a reason." I'm like, all this stuff that's been brewing because of you, but somehow I want to keep something going. So I said, well, since I'm the one stirring the pot, then why did you give me the ingredients? You did me wrong, and as usual, you want to turn it into you are the victim. Meanwhile, you're the one causing the problem. Made no attempt to do anything. Um, and she at that point was talking about therapy too. And guess what? Just like this time, nothing. So so I'm like, oh, so now you want it. Well, you didn't before. All these years I've been trying to get it going, and she didn't do nothing. And then Carmen sent me a text message telling me to stop disrespecting my daughter. Excuse me? Um, she went on to say that our children are our responsibility for the rest of our lives. That's kind of a long stretch. She's my responsibility at the age that she is now, which is 48. That sounds like a retard. And she's going to tell me how I should be trying to build her up and uplift her and not tear. She's talking about, I guess, her daughter too, because she's talking about tear them down. We shouldn't be doing that. Well, it goes the same for the parents too. The children are supposed to be lifting their parents up as well. It's not a one-way street, but that's what she was trying to turn it into. So went on to say that she loved my daughter and she would stand by her no matter what. And that is true. She really is doing that. So she said she would not allow me or anyone to ever disrespect her. Well, come and get me. Because she disrespected me. And you okay with that. As a matter of fact, all those little people on your page that you send over to say rude comments, they're stupid just like Carmen is. If you've got a person who's willing to spit on me, if they ever met me, I want them to meet me actually, so that they can go ahead and have their day, because I'm going to whip some ass that day. The nerve of you. Would you spit on your mother? Would you empty out her bank account and smile in her face? Would you try to sell the family home and still think you'd be okay with her? I think your mother would break your damn teeth and maybe break your neck too. You got some nerves. All you little people, you show me just the class of people you like using. I feel sorry for them because they really don't know who they are messing with. Um, I could have done many things, and I will tell y'all all about that too. Why I decided to back up a little bit. And I told Carmen, I said, well, you get the opportunity to reset the clock. And I said, I started sending them a group text message when I would send one. And trust me, I've sent many. I said to Carmen, I said to Denise, I said, the opportunity to reset the clock. And you can go back to being the little girl whose parent thinks she can do no wrong. You know, those parents, they do exist. Oh, my child didn't do that. Meanwhile, the child did a whole lot of stuff. And the parents sticking their neck out, being a fool. So I said, well, you can go back, be that little girl where the parent thinks you don't do any wrong and get rewarded no matter what. Because that's exactly what I see playing out when I see them. And then she lies even more by saying Carmen had not said anything about me. That was not true. Carmen went on live when she was moving to Houston, and she got on there talking about uh, the so-called abused childhood that her baby experienced. I mean, already she's playing out to be the parent who the child can do no wrong. And I asked her, what um, what would she have done? I asked Tanesa, if I had did the things that you've done to me, what would you have done to me? And I didn't get an answer at all. I didn't get no answer. She was like, I never received a text back. I would do X, Y, and Z or nothing. And so we're choosing to live in the now and not and doesn't want to deal with unresolved issues from the past. So she was like, I don't want to be bothered with that. Now, when she needed me last year to go to the Gucci store because a friend of hers wanted to get some boots or something, and she couldn't get them online, so they wanted me to go to the store for them, so I did. And I'm like, well, maybe this is, even though it's a sick way to get started, but maybe this will kind of, do something. And then she wrote this statement about people that are against her. She said the following: they are mad because they shop for clothes at Target and Walmart. And then they are also mad because I wear designer clothes. Uh, I was like, wow. So these people are paying money. That's why I was writing those proses or poems or making those statements about people, I can go shopping at your expense and all those other ones along that vein. It's because of that. And she just kind of felt that she was way above everybody. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with you because I didn't know all about this. But there was something else that had happened back in 2021. And I had made a statement to Iris. It was a family issue, and it involved Iris. And I was, kind of concerned about a family member and how come she wasn't pitching in, since she's always liking to pitch in. So Tanesa got upset about it with me and sent me a text message that she said she wanted me to apologize to Iris. Um, and the thing is, Iris and Tanesa are very much alike. Iris didn't mention anything to anyone about the backstory to my comments. So Tanesa's writing, telling me to apologize to this. I'm not going to say it, but I should apologize to that. No, it ain't going to happen. So she's going to tell me she didn't want me to hurt her feelings. She was already feeling pretty bad. And I'm saying to myself, I really don't give a damn. It's about time she felt bad about something. So let me take you back to April of 2022. I asked her a question about a serious issue in the family. And her response was, what we won't do is entertain foolishness like some juvenile. Go about your business and please leave me alone. Now she's saying this to me. I was like, wow. I said to her, keeping secrets is your thing, but you can't keep them covered up forever. Hope you are hope you're taking too much pride in calling yourself dissing me. So she was like, I was like, you're really getting kind of bold. I'm like, where is she coming off with these statements and talking, like this? Uh, I was just trying to get a letter out of her. That was really it. So now I'm accused of blackmailing her for a letter. Um, she's I'm a juvenile and all this and all that. Um, taking, when I'm trying to find out some serious stuff, she wants to take it and turn it around, and I'm being a kid and I need to go sit down in a corner somewhere or something like that. Um, so I was like, well, why don't you just give me a letter of recognition? That's all. She said, what? If I gave you a letter of recognition, then I would be lying. And I said, well, you lie about other stuff. Just go ahead and entertain me and lie about that too. So she said, oh, I should give you a letter of recognition for support. Oh, what do you what? Support? Oh, are you talking about the 2 years I lived with you as a teen parent? And then she went on to lie about the rest. Or when you wanted me to abort or give her son up for adoption. I'm like, where did you get this from? The abortion part came first. This is another thing I want to say about her, about my daughter. She's always mixing up her dates and timeline to make it look good for her. The abortion issue came up before I knew I had 6 weeks to prepare because she didn't look like she was that far along. So that's when that came up. And after that, it was all about get ready for baby mode. And nobody even thought about giving him up for adoption. What you get? No, that's just some bullshit she had to say to make herself feel good. Because in actuality, around the corner, there was a girl living in a big fancy house, black, just like her, or just like us, I should say. And she was pregnant too. Her parents sent her away. Now, you're not going to stay here. I don't know where they sent her to, but they sent her away. And here we are struggling and doing the best we can. Nobody even mentioned putting him up for adoption. Are you crazy? He looked like a little doll. Why would you want to give a doll baby up? So I thought it was like, what are you talking about? So I had to counteract that. I was like, let me get you straight. And she said, if that's what the support that you're speaking of, she went on to say, like you deserve a humanitarian award for something that you should have stood up and handled as a parent. That's what she told me. And I gotta repeat it. Like you deserve a humanitarian award for something that you should have stood up to handle as a parent. And then she went to go on and say, the level of disdain and disrespect coming from your heart is sickening at best. Now, on November 26th, she wrote me another text telling me that excuse. I was a miserable excuse of a human being, let alone a mother. I was a miserable excuse of a human being, let alone a mother. She said, fuck you for life. I mean, that's a lot of pent up anger. And I'm like, where is all of this coming from? I didn't know nothing about the Facebook stuff. So she's telling me all of this, and I'm like, wow. Then she went on to call me you trifling ass bitch. You are a miserable piece of shit. It costs $0 to be respectful. You are a loser, always have been, and will always be. I'm like, oh, hell no. I didn't know I thought she was still living in Jacksonville at the time. No, no, no. I knew she had moved. Now, she had moved. I knew she had moved, but I didn't know the address. And I still don't know the address. Matter of fact, a lot of you know the address, and I still don't. So I'm like, she is really just she's going way beyond. She's getting a little bit too big for herself. And to say these comments, it was November 26th. When she called me a miserable excuse for a human being, let alone a mother, fuck you for life, you trifling ass bitch, you are a miserable piece of shit. It costs $0 to be respectful. Well, I find it hard to be respectful to somebody calling me uh, a horrible excuse of a human being. And I am a trifling ass bitch. She knows that November, let's see, I think I was still working. I would have got on a plane. I didn't know where she lived at the time. I would have beat her ass. I would probably knocked all her teeth out. Stomped her for real. Got back on the plane and came back to LA. You gonna call me what? After you've done all of this to me? Oh, she's a piece of work, people. You just don't know who you're looking at. And all of these people that keep coming to the page on my platform of any kind, including YouTube, to talk stupid shit, I kept telling these people in these comments that I responded to, you don't really know what's going on. So I understand it. That's why I wasn't really getting mad at them, because I realized they don't know the facts and I'm not saying anything. And I even said, well, maybe y'all are doing this to kind of irritate me, to the point of talking. But I knew I wasn't going to do it because of that. But with that cease and desist letter, oh, that got me going. Because I know it came from them. Oh, I got people telling me, oh, no, they didn't do that. Somebody else did. No, they don't want to take responsibility for it, which is typical of my daughter's behavior. She did it. They did it. Because I had sent them one. I texted to them. That's how I know that this was legitimate, that this was real. And I was just laughing about it because I already know how the legal system works. And I already knew when I didn't even bother opening them. To this day, I couldn't tell you what the wording is. But I already knew that it was phony. I'm like, you didn't send this properly. And if she had sent it properly, I just would have sent one back anyway, properly. Because I know how to read and write legal documents. I think my daughter forgot that about me. That I know how to sit down and read a law book like I'm reading a novel. And I know how to write up legal documents without using a paralegal or an attorney. I'm so tough. I got an attorney who was representing me in a case and he fucked me up. I got him sent back to law school. And to get an attorney in California to go back to law school ain't an easy feat. But I got it done. So she picked the wrong person, but she thought she was above herself because now she's got all this rich bitch money. So she has a rich bitch attitude, one of them nasty rich bitch attitudes. Like everybody's supposed to want to kiss her butt and live through her life vicariously. But I'm not interested because I introduced her to it. Iris has never had it, neither has Evelyn. But I didn't think Evelyn would sell herself cheap like she did. She's just a cheap hoe, along with Iris, and along with Tanasa and Carmen, too. They sell themselves for $1. That's why I call them a hoe. Not that they're out there having sex and getting paid for it. They're just hoes to $1 because they see, oh, oh, she can fly me places now. If you had a source of income, you could fly yourself. Maybe that's what you need to do. So you won't be relying on her to make moves and pay you something. And I bet you anything, if she needed $1 from my daughter, she wouldn't get it. My daughter doesn't give people money. She just buys them. That's her way of paying people. And I think she pays her moderators. And she paid them to try to be moderators for me. And I farmed it. So let you know right now, you're not moderators for me. The nerve of you. And they're all acting on my daughter's behalf. Whatever she wants them to do, that's what they're going to do. So I had to tell y'all all of that because of what I'm getting ready to tell you. Back in October of last year, my bank changed how they do business. They upgraded my app because that's how I do my banking, it's through an app. They upgraded the app because it used to show my credit report. And I couldn't figure out, I was like, my credit was in the 700s. And I had maybe like 2 payments that I didn't make or something because I had changed it from being an automatic payment to me actually handling it myself. And the delay caused a credit drop. But since I wasn't a person trying to purchase anything with credit, I think I looked at a car one time and I was like, well, I like it, but I don't know if I really want to put that kind of money out for it. And I'm glad I didn't because I wound up getting the same vehicle, same model of vehicle, one year older than the one I was going to get for like 3,200 when the dealership was charging 12,000 for it. So I wound up, getting it at a great discount. So I didn't need it. So anyway, on the app, I decided, I'm going to look it up now. I decided to look at, now it included my credit report. So I said, okay, well, I'm getting the credit report. So let me look at the credit report. I knew that the car dealership had, checked my credit because he was like, oh, your credit good. You can get vehicle. And I said, well, let me think about it. I'm not sure if I want it right now or what. Because I like to pay cash when I'm getting something. I just like to go ahead and get it. So in the process of getting it, I'm looking up the credit report. I'm going to look it up right now. Okay? Because this is key. I'm giving you these dates. I discovered this in October of last year. And and during that time, this was during that time from October to November 27th. So in that time, that's when she was telling me that let's see, I don't know what's going on. That's when she was telling me that I was a miserable excuse for a human being let alone a mother. Fuck me for life. I'm a trifling ass bitch. I'm a miserable piece of shit. It costs $0 to be respectful. And then she's going to tell me I'm a loser and all this other stuff. All right. So let me see. All right. A little slow. But this was like, whoa. Okay. Now my credit score went way up because of something that had happened. Let me see. I'm viewing the credit report. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see here. The first account was opened up on 2005 was the first one. A credit card in my name, familiar ring, go back to when she was 18 and cleaned out my bank account. Now she's gotten more sophisticated. Now she is taking out credit cards in my name. The first one was 2005. It was a credit card. Then after that, she took out a loan that was in my name. Now in 2005, I had just given her some money, I think, to get her condo. Gave her money to get her condo, a down payment that she needed. Gave that to her. This is the same mother that she's telling that I'm a miserable piece of shit. I'm a miserable excuse of a mother. And fuck me for life. And I'm a trifling ass bitch. I'm a miserable piece of shit. It costs $0 to be respectful, but I'm a loser, always have been, and always will be. Now, this is the same lady who put out money anytime you needed it, who was down there visiting quite often. This is the same lady that you're saying all this about. And then got the nerve to talk about when you were a teenage parent that I only did what I was supposed to do. And I didn't deserve anything for doing it because I was supposed to do it. So, credit card in my name in 2005. I guess I was supposed to do that too. A loan in my name about the same amount of time. The only loan, there was 2 loans and 3 credit cards. One loan I am on because I was the co-signer for the motorcycle that I talked about earlier. That one, yeah. But all the other ones, no. She opened up one with what's that? What's in your wallet? Capital One. She had a Capital One credit card. And she closed that one out in 2021. August. No, that was July of 2021. So that meant when I saw her in 2021 for Mother's Day, she had that credit card in my name. And we go out to dinner and all of this stuff. And she's sitting up there looking at me, got the nerve to be rude to my man and everything. And this is dirt. This is the dirt she was doing. She had a credit card in my name. So in July of that year, she paid it off. Then she had another one, another loan in my name. No, 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 no. I'm wrong. Yeah. She had a credit card in my name. She had another credit card in my name. Let's see when that one is. She had another credit card in my name. No, that was that one. That was that one. But back in 2016 and in 2017, she had a secured loan in my name. That one, no. That one I'm a part of. That's the only one. She had two loans. One loan I'm a part of. So I knew about that one. But then she went